Hello there, in this video we are going to see how you can store your Terraform state file in a remote backend. For this remote backend, I am going to use S3 bucket, AWS S3 bucket, and also for log our state file, I am going to use AWS DynamoDB. It will create a log ID, like it will create a log ID like I am working on my computer and my teammate or my friend working on another computer, and we are working on a same AWS account. Like now my server is running on a 2 EC2 instance machines. Now my teammate want to set it to 3, and I don't know what will happen if he set it to 3. It will be not in my state list without the knowledge. And we cannot push our state file to GitHub, as you know. So what we will do? We will access the same state file, and to avoid any kind of collision, we must lock our state file while some another one is accessing it. Like it will have to create a lock ID. So like my teammate is changing on my infrastructure. On this time, I will be not able to change on the infrastructure, and if I going to change, it will show who is changing from where. Now, like I'm going to get into this video with all the practical, like how we can do this. First, I'm going to open my terminal in this VS Code project directory. I'm already in my project directory. To initialize Terraform, you can apply this command, Terraform init. Just type this command. This will initialize the Terraform in this directory, Terraform state directory. Now I'm going to go through all of these files, what all these files will do. I've already committed this automator access file in my ec2.tf file, because I'm not going to install Nginx here. Yeah, here you can see using user data, you can install any kind of configuration on here. What is this file will do? This file will going to create a create EC2 instance machines. Okay, T2 medium. Or I'm going to comment out this one. Then it will create two EC2 instance machine. One is T2 micro, one is T2 medium. Here you can see our Terraform has been successfully initialized. Okay, our Terraform successfully has been initialized, and .terraform directory is created. And as you know, this language is called HashiCorp configuration language. Now, what is my output file will do? This output.file will do, it will show all of the output, like what is my public IP and what is my public DNS and private IP. This will show whenever I apply this Terraform files, it will show all of this on my terminal, my public IP, public DNS and private IP. So what will be the benefits if I show it in my terminal? If I see it in my terminal, the benefit will be I don't need to leave my terminal, or I don't need to go to manually on AWS console and see what is my public IP, public DNS and private IP. I can see it here, and I don't need to leave my terminal. Okay, and here I am selecting my provider region. In this class, I am going to use US East 2 as my region. Then in Terraform.tf file, what kind of configuration, what kind of cloud I am going to use, I have configured it in Terraform 5. In variable files, I have configured my variables, like what will be my AMI ID. You can check what is my AMI ID, in what region I am using. Maybe, okay, let me see, US East 2. And this AMI ID is US East 2 Ubuntu AMI ID. You can verify it. I'm going to verify you. Just search EC2. Okay. Let me see. in whose series I'm on EOS H2. If I click on launch instance and select Ubuntu as my image or operating systems, you can see this AMI ID is same for AB7. You can verify it here for AB7. Okay, my Terraform is already initialized. Before applying any Terraform file, if you are newbie like me, you are learning Terraform, you must validate your Terraform file. To validate your Terraform file, you can use this command terraform validate. It will show all the errors. Here you can see I didn't have created terra underscore public key, so I need to create it. Okay, so you can create a key via SSH hyphen keygen. Okay, now name your key terra underscore key. Now your public and private key will be created. Here you can see here your public, this one is private key, this one is public key dot pub is created, and my, you can see here is my public key link. I have created this hash, so I don't need to change in my code. You can name your key as like you want and change it here on this key on this key file. Okay, let me clear the terminal. Clear. Now if I want to see Terraform state list, it will not show any state. Like you can see there are no any state file here. Like I want to see Terraform state list. No state file was found because I don't have created any state yet, because I don't applied my Terraform. Okay, before you configure your AWS, you must configure your AWS CLI here to Terraform to apply changes on your cloud account. You must configure your AWS CLI, giving this necessary permission to make all the changes that Terraform will do. Okay, now let me what I am going to do. Okay, now let me going to show you what will happen if we apply our Terraform file. You can verify it or see it via Terraform plan. Okay, it will going to show what resources we will going to create after applying our file. Look, 5 resources we will going to create, plan to add if we apply these files. To apply these files, you can use this command terraform apply. Okay, you can see my terraform.state file have created. Yes, and to make the changes, it will create all the resources on my AWS account, like one T2 medium EC2 machines and T2 micro EC2 machines. Just wait and watch. It will create. It will take some time to create it. Eventually it will create it. And as you can see here, my EC2 instance have been created. One is T2 medium, one is T2 micro. You can connect it via here without leaving your terminal. First, we must give the permission to our public key using this command terra underscore key. Okay. Now SSH -i then Terra underscore key. Then I'm going to copy this one, public DNS. Yes. Permission is denied. Hey, this permission is denied. Don't worry, because AWS sometimes takes time to provision all the resources. You can check it here. Go to our instances. Little loading, running. Refresh it. Okay. To medium. And I'm going to run this command again. What is happening again? Yes. Let me try this side. Terra underscore key. Then why this permission is denied still showing? It should be connecting. Let me just see this. Okay, it should connect. Why this permission is denied showing? Sometimes AWS mess with you. Let me see, connect. Okay, copy this one. Go to terminal and this one should work. Same command. First time it was not working. You can see I was using same command previously, but it was not working. AWS or sometimes AWS takes some time to work it. Here you can see our server is ready. Okay, you can clear and you can exit from the server. Now, if you want to show your state list, you can use this command Terraform state list. Here is my state list, what is created and why, what kind of resources it have created. And you can see we have created a terraform.state file. Now if I want to destroy all of the resources at once, you can just type this command it will going to it will destroy all of the resources on your AWS cloud. Okay, in a single command you can delete all of the resources. How cool is this? Like Terraform is fun. Yes, the beginners it could be hard sometimes. Like yes, you can see I couldn't connect my EC2 instance. Like it was not working. Same command, but sometimes later it work because AWS sometimes it take time to provision all of our resources. That's why it was not connecting. Okay, all of my resources will be deleted. Here, after I deleted all of my resources, as you can see, there is my a backup.tf.htf file has created. Okay, now if you accidentally delete this file, you can also restore your backup from this file. Now, if you accidentally delete all of these two files, what will happen? Your state will be not be same where. Okay, so it is that not happen. We are going to add a remote backend to this directory or to this workspace. Now we are going to use like S3 bucket to store our tf.state file, and to generate our log ID, unique log ID every time we are going to use DynamoDB. Now I'm going to create another folder under this parent directory and name it remote backend. Okay. Here I will need what is called provider. Then I will need what is called Terraform.tf to initialize Terraform. Okay, in this folder. Then we will need a S3 bucket. S3.tf. And what we will need? We will need a DynamoDB. Okay, all of the file is created. I'm just going to copy paste here. We can find this provider code on HashiCorp documentation. Copy this, then paste it here. Don't take this one. Then where is provider? Copy this, then okay. Now I'm going to create a S3 buckets here. To create a S3 bucket is one kind of resource in AWS. So I'm going to use their resource block. Okay. And what is my resource name? My resource, what kind of resource I'm going to use? AWS. Just typing I am. Then AWS underscore S3 bucket. And my bucket name will be a name. I'm going to name it state bucket. State bucket. Maybe this one should better. Okay. Now, okay, I have already installed the extension official extension from HashiCorp. That's why this is showing me this kind of recommendation. And if I press tab on my keyboard, it will configure all of these changes. Okay, and I'm going to do this. It will be easy for me. Okay, and I don't need any versioning of my bucket, and what is my bucket will be private or public. Okay. Now I'm going to don't need any environment because I'm going to store my state file here. And asset tags, I'm going to use these asset tags. See. Okay, this is fine. S3 packet has been created. Now I'm going to create a DynamoDB table. For the DynamoDB table, what I'm going to need is this one kind of resource also. Just a resource and a resource name. Resource type. It is called resource type. AWS Dynamo table. DynamoDB table. Okay. Name it. Yep. Push it. Okay. Okay. I have just used the shortcut method. Like I just press my tab button on my and accepted all the changes. Like I'm going to explain this code what it will do. It will create a table name TF state log table. Okay, like it will store our log file here. And as a being mode, I am selecting favor request. Like AWS will give you resources whenever you request for the resource. Okay, and if you store provision, like provision as a resource, AWS will give you resources all the time and it will be costly. As a hash key, I am using log ID. It will create a hash key, and the hash key type will be log ID, and attribute as a log ID attribute, I am going to type it as a string type, and I am going to save it. Now I am going to change my directory. Let me clear this terminal. Okay. I am on this folder. As you remember, I didn't initialize Terraform in this folder. So first I am going to initialize Terraform in this folder. Make sure your AWS CLI is configured. Otherwise, you cannot communicate with AWS via Terraform. Like Terraform will not be able to change on your AWS account. So make sure your AWS is initialized. We will be taking some time to initialize the Terraform in this folder. Okay, Terraform successfully initialized. Just type Terra. Apparently, it will format the Terraform all files. Then I'm going to apply all of the changes using Terraform apply command. Terraform apply, and I can auto activate. Okay. It is creating all the resources, and our backend is created successfully. One backend is created successfully. Now we need to make some changes on our Terraform file, main Terraform file, to access this remote backend. Like my main Terraform instead doesn't know about this. Terraform file doesn't know about this remote backend. Okay, we didn't configure it. So we must configure it. Let me choose my directory. Okay. Come to this file. I've already tested it, that's why I have commented this code out long ago. I'm just comment out it. Make sure my all of the name is similar. I'm going to this, then S3. What is my S3 bucket name? TF state S3 bucket, okay. What is my DynamoDB table name? TF state log table. And here, what is DynamoDB state log table? Okay, and here's the key. Here you can see I am passing this Terraform.state file. Now, I have made changes on the Terraform.tf file. However, you make changes on Terraform.tf file or main configuration Terraform file, you must initialize Terraform again. Okay. Now I am going to initialize Terraform again. Using Terraform init command. Okay, you can see it is initializing the backend and see successfully configured the backend as 3. Now Terraform will automatically use this backend unless the backend configuration is changes. Loop. Okay. Now if I delete all of this file like Terraform state file, okay, just delete it. Delete it. Now if we state list, we don't have, as you remember, it is not able to full in the Terraform. Well, let me just make the changes, then you will be able to make it full. Terraform. We didn't apply it. You can see it is acquiring state log from our cloud as 3 buckets. First it is acquiring. You can see this. Acquiring state log. This may take few moments. Of course, it is acquiring it from the cloud, AWS cloud as 3 bucket, and now it is going to create all the resources. You can verify this that there is no state file have been created now. First time you see whenever I use Terraform apply command, a state file was created. This time no state file was created. Okay. Okay. Now if I want to see, it will pull the data from the remote and show the state list here. You can see it is showing my state list and there is no state file. It is pulling data from the remote backend. Now let me show you one thing here. Okay, as a user, want to destroy all of these resources. Okay, as a user or as a what is called, like I'm working on a team. Now I want to destroy all of the resources. Now I'm going to apply Terraform destroy commands, and I'm not going to use the flag called auto approve. Look what will happen. Just look. Okay, I'm going to do this. Terraform destroy. Now I'm going to open another terminals. Here I'm going to make some changes here. Spice it up. Let me just comment it out. Save it. And I'm going to also use Terraform apply. Apply. Now see what will happen. It is going to what is it saying? Error occurring the state log. This user, like this is another user, it cannot acquire the state log because this state log is already using by this user. Okay, like this user is also me, manual of mine. Like showing who is this making these operations. Spec manual from this device. Okay. ID, this ID was this. Look, every time someone changes or someone want to change this on the AWS infrastructure or your code, it will create a lock ID, and you can verify it by going to, let's search the DynamoDB. What I'm typing, DynamoDB. Tables, into tables, then this one, explore items. You can see it has created a lock ID. Okay, that's why other user cannot make the changes when other user is making the changes. And why use Terraform lock state or remote backend? Because you cannot push your Terraform state file to the GitHub, or if you are working in a teams, you don't know what is the state of your current Terraform. Okay, what is the state of your current Terraform? You don't know. So, in order to access it all the time, you must create a remote backend to access your Terraform state whenever and wherever you want. Okay, let's go to the base code. And if this user release the lock, like yes, okay, let me just show. Now this user can make the changes. Thus this is still okay. It will take some time to show you. Okay, now this user can make the changes. Okay, you can verify it. Now the lock ID is already not here. Just refresh this page. Now you can see there is no lock ID. Now this whenever this was a user want to make the changes, and the lock ID will be created. Okay. Now you will see, and a lock ID will be created. Yes, you can see this. Yes, that's how Terraform remote backend work. Now, if someone accidentally delete the S3 bucket, what will happen? You can take the snapshot of this S3 bucket, or you can also take a backend of all of this S3 bucket. So whenever someone accidentally delete the S3 bucket, you can restore it again. Okay. Now I'm going to do a silly things. Was and see. I'm going to delete all of these S3 buckets. Okay, let me just change the directory to remote. Now I'm going to apply Terraform destroy hyphen auto. Maybe I can delete it because my S3 bucket is not empty. Let me see what happened. If I cannot delete it, it's saying here you cannot delete the S3 buckets. You can see instead I am going to delete it manually. Let's see S3. Okay. After this, what will happen? If I delete it manually. Okay. Just type permanently delete. Delete. Also going to delete this one. Don't do this in production. I'm doing this for learning purpose. What will if I happen if I delete all of this? There is no S3 bucket as you can see. Now if I apply Terraform destroy or Terraform, it will delete the DynamoDB table. Okay. CD. Now, if you want to initialize Terraform again, there is no state file. Now, how you can restore your state file? There is no way. You cannot restore it. If I, as you remember, we have created a EC2 instance, T2 medium machines. Now, what it will show. Just watch. Don't do this in production. Error loading the status 3 packet does not exist. Now, for this you must reinitialize Terraform again. Okay, just comment out this one. Terra. Backend configuration changed. Clicks. This is maybe it is pulling data from the cache. Let's use this. Terraform has been successfully initialized. Okay, my Terraform is successfully initialized. Now, if I apply Terraform, apply for backend initialization required. It is pulling data from the cache file, from this .terraform file. I'm going to remove this file. This is the only options. Don't do this. Don't delete your S3 buckets on don't delete your tf.state file. It will be very costly, because it will go into all of the it will be going to delete all of the state configuration, what is changes has happened, all of this. Okay. Okay. Now it is removed and Terraform init. Okay, it is initializing the Terraform in this folder, in this workspace, what you called. Okay, it is initialized. Clear my terminal. Now I try apply. It should work properly according to my theory. Yes. Terraform, you can see again a state file is created. What kind of error is this showing? Import key pair stable response to code request API. Key pair already exists. This security group is already exist. You can, what you can do? Okay, you can rename this security group. After this, it will not give you this error. Okay, just rename the security group. Where is my security group? Okay, here. Rename it HGL. Also need to rename it here. GL. Here. Okay, that's fine. Now it will show no error. Okay, it should solve the error. Let me see what happened. Now let me just explain you how the like S3 backend and DynamoDB work. What happened? Okay, like whenever someone run Terraform flan or apply, Terraform will first contact with the DynamoDB table. Hey? Then it will look for a log. If the log file log IDs exist, then it will don't make any changes. Okay, if the log ID don't exist, it will acquire a new log ID and it will make the changes and climb the log. Then when the Terraform download the latest state file from the S3 bucket, it will store into like what it will do. It will store on your local computer. Okay, and whenever you make the changes, it will make the changes automatically from like whenever you make the changes from your local computer, it will make the automatically make the changes on the S3 bucket state file. Okay, what is called Helix Teraki. Teraki is already exist. That's why. As you remember, we have what is called. Just change it. We have already used this Terakis. That's why I cannot use it again. Now it should work fine. This error maybe showed fast. Yes. Yes. Well, this time it will work perfectly. I think this time it will work perfectly. It will know will not show any error. Okay, let's just watch what happened. Yes, this time it's created perfectly because other times we are using the same security groups. That's why we are getting the error. Also using the same keys. That's why we are getting those errors. Now it is created, and also you can access it, access this T2 Media mission from this terminal. Just command SSS. It will take some time. I think I will again show unable to connect. Copy this DNS. Where should yes. Sometimes AWS takes some time. You will be able to connect using this command. AWS sometimes takes some time to provisionize your resources. Okay, let me just see here. C2. Instances. This one is still initializing. You can see this private DNS. It still initializes, that's why you cannot connect. Okay, after initializing, you will be able to connect it. Just make some time. Yes, this time it should connect now. Let me clear the terminal so you can. This is just G0. Still showing, just show, give some time. Okay, let me just copy the command from here. What is happening? What is the difference between these two commands? No, it is working, it's fine. You can see every time AWS betray me. Like this command and these two commands are same, but this one is working and this two. Oh shit! I have made very silly mistakes. I don't mention the machine name Ubuntu. That's why I was not able to connecting. You're gonna make this kind of silly mistakes. You can see, like if I go to my output.tf files, it only giving me the public DNS name. So it didn't give me the username of my machines. So as you remember, as my machine I have selected a Ubuntu MID, and I am not mentioning this Ubuntu name. I was making these mistakes from the beginning of this video. So you can learn from your mistakes. That is not a shame. Man-made mistakes and learn from it. And if you are a newbie like me and learning Terraform, mistakes can can make you stronger, or you can learn more by your mistakes. So here this the resource is created, and we have successfully logged into our mm, what is called Ubuntu server or EC2 instance machines. Or you can see this automate.sh file. What it will do, it will go install the Nginx. Okay, you can see I comment out this line here, user data, and again Terraform apply. Let me just exit from this server. Terra. It will install Nginx to these Ubuntu machines. Okay, this automate data access files. User data, what is do? It help you to input something from the users. Okay, see. It is installing Nginx, that's why maybe it's taking some time. This one. Okay. Okay. One change, like Nginx installed. Now again, let me just log in. This time I'm going to change Control Shift C. Then okay, you can verify Nginx is running or not using system. Could not be found. Nginx is not installed. Okay. Let me search. How to see Nginx status. So I must use sudo privilege to see it. And Nginx is not installed, but it should work. Okay, no time for debug today. I have not in my mode. You can see 1 to change, flan 0 to add 1 to change. Is nothing changed. Okay, Just ignore for today this one. You can try this out. It should work. I've tried out. It worked this time. It have worked. Why this time not working? I don't know. Maybe this is escaping because of this command set -e. Because of this command, it will exist automatically if the any command is not running or whatever happening. Okay. And I'm going to give my GitHub repo link. All of the code will be available on my GitHub repo. You check it out, and you can practice yourself all of this code and make the necessary changes. That's all for today's video. Let me just exit and destroy these resources. Okay. Yes, destroy. You will see one of our security group will be active because we don't destroy it when we created the remote backend and push and configure our Terraform instance to this remote backend. Last time we have created a T2 medium machine and medium machine is 2 machines and we deleted it. Also I'm going to delete it manually from AWS console. Okay, delete it, do it fast, man. Okay, destroy it. Okay, go to instances. Okay, this one is still running. Just initiate terminator, delete this instance. Okay, terminate. You can see your key pairs here also. Okay, we have created hierarchy, deploy hierarchy. Hierarchy is from our previous key pair. Okay. Whenever we created this, you can also delete to key pair as a like action, then delete it. Just try delete it. We are doing it manually because when we delete our AWS state file, okay, from our S3 bucket, that's why we are doing this manually. Cause when we applied Terraform destroy, it was not able to pull in our data from S3 bucket because our state is already deleted. You know what kind of problem we will face if you delete your TF state file, Terraform state file. Then if I go to the security group, you will see this one also. Terraform, you can see. Okay. You can delete it manually. Delete this security group. Delete it. Okay. There is another one. Does not exist. Oh, maybe it was deleted by I don't delete our. Okay. Why is this saying this kind of thing? Oh, it was already deleted. That was just showing 0. Okay, you can do this also. Delete your security group from here. Also, you can take snapshots of your of your S3 buckets from there and see here. This is for elastic block stores. This is not for the S3 buckets. I can create a snapshot here. What snapshot will do? It will store your data. Like if you set a time to 1 hour, it will snapshot your data or take a backup your data after 1 hour. Like how many changes happen, it will take the backup of this. Okay, network interfaces. No network interfaces there. And what is elastic IP? That is very interesting. Elastic IP is a IP that will not be changes every time you restart your machines or whatever. It is used for whenever you want to communicate between private and public network. That's why you must. That's why you must use elastic IP, and you can buy your elastic IP from AWS. But I am using the free tier account, and I don't have any money, so I cannot buy elastic IP. Okay. Yeah, and also maybe later I'm going to show how you can create a VPC and how you can create a public network and private network and how you can pair a two VPC together, and it's called the VPC pairing. Like two VPC will be able to communicate with others. I'll make a video about this. I learned from the mistakes. You will see. Because in this video I have made a lot of mistakes and I have learned from it. Don't be shy of your mistakes. From your mistakes you can learn. You can learn a lot from your mistakes. If you don't make any mistakes, how can you learn? Okay. That's all. I have talked a lot on this video. Okay. So no notes. You can see, wow, they are not free. Look how many 32 cores CPU, 128 GB of memory, and the gigabyte speed is 15 gig. Like it can transfer data 15 gigabit per second. Okay. Look how many cost. I have done money. Okay, that's all for today's video. Learn from my mistakes and don't judge me. I'm also a newbie, new into DevOps, learning. Thank you.